Welcome to Hoboken, welcome to Hudson County for what we consider to be a very great occasion here and a historic one also. You know, in public life, when people refer to you as a bridge builder, that's a good thing. Usually you're bringing communities together. Today, we're talking about bridge building in a very literal sense here. A new bridge that we built that you can see right over my shoulder. You know, the old bridge was over 100 years old. It was functionally obsolete and engineering-wise very, very dangerous. 20,000 cars use this bridge every day. And it is important to Hudson County in that it connects the cities to the west up on the Palisade, Union City and Jersey City, with the communities down here on the river, Hoboken and Weehawken. And beyond that, it is also a feeder route for the Lincoln Tunnel, which is about a quarter of a mile from here. When people get out of the Lincoln Tunnel, they use this viaduct to get to their homes in Hudson County, and for people looking to get to the Big Apple, this is the way they go also. The need for this was obvious for a long time. It was very difficult for us to put together the necessary financing and planning that go along with it. The first person I'm going to introduce is the guy who got the money starting to flow on this project. I should point out also that this project, at approximately $54 million, is the largest DPW endeavor that the County of Hudson has ever taken. The money, the federal money coming through the NJDOT and the North Jersey Transportation and Planning Authority, of which I am the chairman right now, is the largest local lead project that the state and the NJTPA had ever endeavored to do. The guy that we went to at that time was a congressman from this area, a resident of Union City, a native of Union City, and a one-time resident of Hoboken. I would venture a guess that, like me, who live within a mile of here, that Senator Menendez has probably been on this bridge a couple thousand times, and that's not an exaggeration. That is how vital this road is to everybody. So for our first speaker, I'd like to introduce to you the guy that got all this going, one of the people who has been integral to Hudson County, particularly when it comes to infrastructure and transportation, my friend, Senator Bob Menendez.
Well, thank you, Mr. County Executive, and thank you for your leadership, because Congressman Series and myself, and now Senator Booker, can only advocate for that which ultimately is a good project with a sound foundation, and also in the midst of all of the transportation and infrastructure challenges the county has, the vision of someone who understands that this particular viaduct, a century old, was a major artery and is a major artery that connects so many people throughout a series of communities in Union City and Jersey City and Hoboken and Weehawken, as well as ultimately connections to Trans-Hudson crossings, and is so meaningful. So I appreciate your leadership and your vision in prioritizing this project. And I want to thank as well all of my colleagues from government here, the mayors, the freeholders, of course my colleague in the House of Representatives who sits on the Transportation Committee, as I used to, Congressman Series, and now Senator Booker, who is some vital committees as it relates to transportation and infrastructure, is doing such a great job. You know, building a project of this magnitude takes vision and it takes money. It took about $56 million in federal surface transportation funds and the commitment of the county executive and the freeholders to make it happen. This is an essential connection between 4 incredibly densely populated communities here in Hudson County. And I can tell you, when the county exec says you literally came through thousands of times when I lived in Union City or when I lived here in Hoboken, the reality is, number one is I actually, and I know some of you are going to wonder when this was, but I used to jog from my home in Union City down the Viaduct all the way to the park at the end of the river and go back, and that's when I was thinner, and I should do that again. But in any event, it was, in the process of doing that, you would see thousands of cars come through here, about 20,000 cars a day. And the other interesting thing, which is now improved as a result of the work that is done here, I can't tell you how many pedestrians would walk down the viaduct to an opportunity to ultimately work in Hoboken or one of the neighboring communities, or ultimately work their way to a Trans-Hudson crossing. And you will see many people, particularly early in the morning and at the end of the workday, walking up and down the viaduct. So it is a particularly critical infrastructure project. I think that this integrates again successfully several of the communities, creates synergy, economic opportunity, and unfolds a lot of opportunities here as the mayor of Hoboken develops her vision for this part of the town with the city council, as well as the opportunities that exist along the waterfront that can be accessed by people by being able to get to either a Trans-Hudson crossing or the light rail opportunities along the waterfront. Finally, let me just say, this is a reason for our advocacy that Senator Booker and I and Congressman Series are actually in the midst of a fight right now to reauthorize the federal highway bill and the mass transit provisions of that bill as we speak. We are almost at the point that the highway trust funds, the federal highway trust funds, will dry up. They will be bankrupt. Now, you cannot have projects like this, $56 million, and everything that flows from it, unless you have a federal commitment matched with the county and the states to be able to achieve the success that we're celebrating today. And right now, we have those in our government who don't believe in that the federal government has a role to play in providing the resources to make projects like this happen. And in some of the most crumbling parts of our bridges and roadways in this state, and for that fact throughout the nation, we need a strong federal response, and we need a robust federal response, and we need a long-term legislation so that people can plan. You cannot build roads to the future if it's every 6 months that you're reauthorizing something. So we're in the midst of a fight, and today as we're celebrating, this is the type of success that a robust federal highway and mass transit bill can be, and I'm so glad to be here today. Number one, to celebrate what we collectively did. Number two, to make the case and show what is possible. These are about highways of opportunity. It's about creating jobs. It's about ultimately ensuring the quality of life, and that's what is a compelling reason to have the federal transportation assistance to projects like this here in Hudson County. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. You know, there are a lot of bridges being built here in Hudson County. The Whitpen Bridge connecting Kearney with Jersey City, and one of the larger bridges connecting the two largest cities in our state, Newark and Jersey City, with the enormous project of renovating the Pulaski Skyway. The former mayor of Newark is now part of our legislative team down in Washington, putting forward an agenda that emphasizes the need for construction and infrastructure dollars, both at the federal level and, of course, at the state level. These projects are necessary if Hudson County continues to be the economic engine that will drive this state. I'd like to introduce to you New Jersey's junior senator, Cory Booker.
This is truly an extraordinary day, and I want to give a lot of credit to the county executive. He has done an extraordinary job shepherding this project through to completion. Every one of the board of chosen freeholders for their leadership as well. I also want to commend my friends, Mayor Zimmer and Mayor Fulop, for their commitment to making this project a reality for citizens and residents of Hoboken and Jersey City. And of course, my senior senator, who is a champion of infrastructure, and Representative Series, who also is a hard-charging fighter for the state of New Jersey to make sure that projects like this become more and more of a reality. This is a perfect picture right here of exactly what I want to tell our colleagues in Washington, D.C., that infrastructure investments drive further investments, have a multiplier effect of benefits to the United States, to the state of New Jersey, and obviously, as we see right here, to this community. We know clearly that we have a crisis in America in infrastructure. We know clearly that projects like this are far too rare. A project like this has created opportunities for economic growth, for immediate jobs. It has solved critical problems and will ensure the long-term strength of this region. We know that when you invest $1 in infrastructure in America, you get $1.44 back in economic development and economic growth. And we know a state like New Jersey, which is home to a transportation superstructure critical to the East Coast and to our nation, to a state like New Jersey with the largest port on the East Coast, one of the busiest airports with 38,000 miles of public roads, that we have a crisis right now because we are not investing in our transportation infrastructure. And it is beginning to decay at a rate that is passing on costs to our communities, from broken cars to bad environments. It's time for us to act. I am so grateful to be in the United States Senate with a champion like Senator Menendez, who is standing up strong and saying, New Jersey, we must continue that fight to build a stronger infrastructure, not only for the immediate urgent needs of our bridges, our roads, our aviation infrastructure, but also right now, at a time that we need more jobs, where the cost of capital is low and the need for job creation is great. And so, as Senator Menendez said, we must fund our transportation infrastructure fund. If we fail to do that, the cost to Americans will even be greater in the future, because as everyone knows who sits around their house or apartment, that if you don't fix that leaky roof now, the cost is going to be so much greater in the future. So today is not just a day of celebration. Today is a recognition that when we do it right, all of New Jersey will benefit. That when we do it right, we create jobs. When we do it right, we create economic growth. It's time for America to do it right and make sure that we as a federal transportation policy begin to fund infrastructure. I'm proud to serve on a number of those key committees and to be working hard down in Washington with my colleagues to get this done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Booker. In 2006, Congressman Menendez at the time got his promotion to the Senate, and he handed that baton off to another guy who's probably been on this bridge a couple of thousand times, lives a couple of miles down the road to the north, and he has taken up the gauntlet of fighting for transportation dollars on the Transportation Committee in Washington, D.C., my friend and our Congressman Albio Cires.
Thank you, County Executive. It's a real pleasure to stand here today and being able to cross this bridge without having any problem. It opens up at 5, so everybody get ready. I want to thank the two senators that are here, Cory Booker, and I want to especially thank Senator Menendez. This is the importance of having someone from your county be represented in the federal government. He went over this bridge many times. It was 100 years old. He saw that we needed an effort. And if there was ever an example of government playing a role, it was on this bridge. Communities cannot afford to put $56 million to fix this bridge. So the federal government has its role in making sure that this bridge is safe for the communities that are going to be crossing this bridge. Let's hope that they come to their senses before the fund is depleted and put together a good transportation fund bill. I'm there to work with you. I'm there to work with all the mayors. I want to thank all the workers that are working on this bridge, the engineers, the laborers, and all the mayors that are here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman. We're going to hear briefly from the mayors who were affected by this town. The one mayor that you won't hear from today is the mayor of Union City, Brian Stack, who has a stomach virus in his home. Anybody that knows Brian, that's got to be a pretty tough stomach virus to keep him away from his job, and he sends his apologies. But we are right now in the great town of Hoboken. If you look over my left shoulder by the wall by Congressman Ceres, you see a bicycle. That bicycle is how the mayor of Hoboken arrived at this event, as she does for so many of this. And so this is a lady that is very, very much into transportation being safe and very friendly. The mayor of Hoboken, our host city, Dawn Zimmer.
Thank you so much. I want to start by thanking Senator Menendez, Senator Booker, and Congressman Ceres so very, very much for your strong advocacy for making the investment in infrastructure and supporting these kinds of projects. Not only is it important to our economy and to the connections, the important connections between our communities. We all know we live in a very densely populated area, and these roadway connections are so important. But it's done in a way where it's built in a way where bicyclists and pedestrians can also safely cross, and really want to thank the county executive and freeholder Romano and all of the freeholders, everyone together, working together and recognizing that we have to make this investment. We can't wait. As Senator Booker pointed out, it's so much more expensive. If you wait for that thing, God forbid, to collapse, it's a lot more expensive, and it's a huge public safety issue. And so I'm so very proud that everyone in Hudson County and our elected officials at the federal level worked to make sure we secured the funding, worked to make sure that we had the team to make this happen. I want to thank everyone at the county level that worked so hard to make this happen. And we're very excited, too, that underneath this viaduct, we'll be working hard with the county, continuing to make sure that there's going to be a basketball court, roller hockey, dog park underneath, space that we'll be able to plan out and have more programming. Looking forward to offering more events and more programming in this part of Northwest Hoboken. So again, just so very excited. It's been a long haul. It's been a challenge for our residents. Also want to thank Hoboken residents for their patience through this process, and very exciting day. So thank you again to everyone involved.
Dawn came by bicycle. The next mayor to speak to you actually swam across the Hudson. Then he picked that big building over there and rappelled his way down here. The mayor of Jersey City, Stephen Fulop.
Thank you, County Executive. I'm going to be brief. I get the privilege of speaking a little bit from the local level here on how this impacted us. Let me start by just saying that we are blessed here in Hudson County to have a great congressman and two terrific senators that understand the importance of advocating for dollars like this. This project actually started in 2003 with the county scoping it out at the time, money starting in 2006, and then our congressmen and our senators really escalating it in 08, 09 in order to see it to completion. So if you think about how long a project like this takes from the vision till actually today, you're looking at upwards of 10 years. So it really is a significant day to get here today. I just want to highlight the fact that we in Jersey City are really seeing a boom in real estate up on the cliff up there in the Heights in particular. And that's no small part because of the investment into transportation and infrastructure like this over here. The light rail has been a big part of it. Infrastructure like this has been a big part of it because accessibility, as Senator Menendez said, to jobs, to houses is crucial. So if you look at what it does to the local economy, I think all you need to look at is the uptown portion of Hoboken and the Heights in Jersey City, and you could see what dollars like this do for a local economy. So we're blessed here today. We want to say thank you for coming. Of course, a very, very special thank you to Senator Menendez, Congressman Ceres, and Senator Booker for making today a reality. Thank you.
The mayor's words are very true. I live right on top of that cliff where the light rail has a high-speed elevator, and there has been nothing that has spurred the turnaround in those neighborhoods as a transportation investment. The next mayor to speak is we're standing in Hoboken, but right now, if I hit my 6-iron a little bit to the north, it would land in Weehawken. Much of the traffic that goes through and onto this bridge is from the great little town of Weehawken, a town that is developing its waterfront so quickly. Mayor Richard Turner.
Thank you, County Executive. Mayor Fulop swam, Mayor Zimmer came by bicycle, I came by air-conditioned car. I thought about jogging down the Viaduct at one point in my life, but I gave that up. To our 2 U.S. senators, to our congressmen, to our county executive, the most important point is this: these projects could not be done without federal funds. This bridge is a great use of urban space. Not only is it an attractive bridge, but the space that's going to be used underneath it, as Mayor Zimmer said. But whether it's the road network, or the expansion of the light rail, or the expansion of the waterway system, you need federal funds. And so it's so important to keep these funds rolling. And I just want to thank our senators and our congressmen for fighting so hard to ensure that we get the transportation system we need. And I want to thank the county executive for making sure that this project was done on cost, on time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. There are a couple of people that are here today. I just want to single out for their help in doing this. Number one is the Director of the Director of Public Property and Roads, Harold Buddy Demolier. The County Engineer, Demetrio Arasemdia. And coming back, the scoping for this project actually began, I believe, in 2003, or maybe even a little bit before that. And Bob Jasek, who was the county engineer at that time and for over 30 years, drove in from Pennsylvania to get here today. You're very welcome to be here, Bob. I'm glad you made it. The security for the event, keeping cars off us, is being provided by the Hoboken Police and also the Hudson County Sheriff's Office under the directorship of Frank Scolari. I mentioned before that I'm the chairman of the North Jersey Transportation Planning Association that handles the federal money coming into the towns, and this was their largest local lead project ever. They are represented today by Amy Magnuson from the NJTPA. Thank you, Amy, for being here. The NJDOT was very much involved in the money moving from the right to the right place. Trans Systems, the design, J.H. Reed, the contractors, and T.Y. Lynn, the construction managers. To all of them, thank you for bringing this almost in time. Hurricane Sandy got in the way of that. We'll be totally completed with the underground recreation areas that Mayor Zimmer had talked about and are illustrated over here, and we'd be glad to take you a walk by Labor Day. As the county executive, I know that you can't do anything by yourself. It takes a team in order to accomplish anything that is good, and this is a really good project. I want to publicly thank the board of chosen freeholders for all of their efforts in supporting this effort, and in particular, the guy who represents this area, the recently re-elected freeholder, Anthony Stick Romano.
Thank you very much, County Exec. My thoughts are this. The people of Hoboken and Jersey City and Weehawken and Union City should be very proud to see what took place here. It's more than just a viaduct. It is more than just the rehabilitation of a structure. It's so much hard work went in by road department, by the engineering department, by the sheriff's department, by the Hoboken Police Department. The people in the neighborhood that attended all the meetings to work together to accomplish this. And of course, you cannot do it without the great federal officials we have. Senator Menendez, Senator Sears, and now also with Senator Booker. They are there for us always. They don't forget the local touch. They don't forget where they came from. And as a representative, we should also be proud of the whole board of chosen freeholders that worked together. When there was revisions to be made, the freeholders are there working with the county executive to accomplish this task. So congratulations to everyone involved to show that government works. As the mayor said, Mayor Fulop was stressing the link now between Jersey City Heights and Hoboken for the strength of the economy is there, the artists, the musicians. There's a constant up and down, and I think that's important. And we can't forget Mayor Turner, who always is there to bring us so much peace and love from Weehawken. Thank you. God bless everybody.
We're going to wrap it up today with one of our Jersey City freeholders, my freeholder up in the Heights there, my friend Junior Maldonado.
Thank you. As the newest member of the Board of Freeholders, I wasn't there on the board when the voting for this issue came up, but I certainly say that it's a proud day for me as an elected official to be here to see my senators, Senator Bob Menendez and Cory Booker here, and to know that our federal legislators, in conjunction, we're working with our state officials, our county officials, and our local officials, were able to put this together, that all these years later, we are here today to open up a viaduct that not only is a car connector to areas of Hoboken and Weehawken, but it is a people connector. People connector in terms of getting people from Weehawken and Hoboken to visit parts of Jersey City and Union City and vice versa. So for me as a county official, I am delighted to know that I have representatives such as Bob Menendez, Senator Booker, Congressman Series, that I have a county executive like Tom DeGeese, and mayors like Mayor Fulop and Mayor Zimmer and Mayor Turner that are fighting hard for me and for you every day. So thank you and have a great day.
And that concludes our Bridge Builders program for today. But thank you, everybody, for coming here today. Thanks for withstanding the heat. And by this time tomorrow, this bridge will be fully operational. Thank you very much.